Hey there, friends. Welcome to a bonus video, a little review, overview. I don't know what. Just making a video to enjoy my newest Horsemen item that has come in, and that is the FIgura Obscura, the Masque of the Red Death. So I'm not a reviewer. That's not a thing that I do too much of here and there. You gotta do the things that you're comfortable with and that you think your audience wants to see, and usually that's vlogs for us. But these releases are so infrequent. We get 2 or 3 a year. So we had the Monkey King earlier this year. This is the second one, Masque of Red Death, and maybe there'll be a third one later this year, maybe not. In years past, we've had Krampus, Father Christmas, and the Headless Horseman. So sometimes one a year. I think this is the third year I think we've had these. So maybe 2 years ago, Halloween season 2021, I think, is when the Headless Horseman came out, and then Krampus, and then last year, Father Christmas, I think. Maybe there's only one last year. I don't know. I think that's right. So there has been Krampus, and then the retailer's release of Krampus. There has been Father Christmas, there has been Headless Horseman. Those are the 4 that are out, and now the Masque of the Red Death and Monkey King. The retailer release of Father Christmas, which is green, and the Headless Horseman, which is also kind of a neon green flame, are imminent this year. And that's where we are. So FIgura Obscura, if you're not familiar, is a line of figures from the 4 Horsemen, as you can imagine, that are more obscure. FIgura Obscura. They are figures that are based on, I think the easiest way for me to describe it is characters that kind of live in the public domain. These are not entirely unique creations, the way that mythic legions or cosmic legions are, that are their own intellectual property, that they are creating the entire figure. These are things taken from lore or literature, like this one's from literature, or myths, whatever the case may be, but that are public domain and not, you have to pay a license for it, right? Whereas you have to pay a license to use Spider-Man, for instance. You have to pay a license to create that character. These are things that are in the public domain. Now, I'm not the biggest IP or public domain knowledgeable person. I'm not an IP lawyer, but I think it's 100 years. I think at 100 years, when something has been 100 years since its creation, it enters the public domain, which means it can't really be copyrighted or trademarked in the sense of its character. Now, elements of it could be, but a recent example of that is Winnie the Pooh entered the public domain, which is why we have the movie Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. But in that movie, for instance, Tigger wasn't in that movie because Tigger had not been created for 100 years yet. So he had not entered the public domain, but it looks like in the sequel of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, that Tigger is going to be in it. That's quite a thing. That's quite a thing. I actually just looked up real quick, what are some other things that are entering public domain here? And it's 95 years, not 100 years. So some of the ones in the next 11 years. Characters from The Hobbit, Batman, Superman, Mickey Mouse, that's soon, I think. Pluto. I think if you stretch out about 15 years, you start to get Captain America, Wonder Woman, The Flash. These will have been created, nearly 100 years ago, and can no longer be considered like intellectual property of a single entity. Now, I know that Disney especially is doing things, taking efforts to try and continue those copyrights. All of that's way over my head. But things that are not owned by any one entity anymore for licensing, those are the types of things that enter FIgura Obscura. Now, I don't think when Batman enters the public domain, I don't see that the 4 Horsemen doing a Batman FIgura Obscura. I don't think that's the intent. I think this is things that are more probably not going to have a figure or many figures of them made otherwise. So things like the Yeti, the Bigfoot, or For a while people thought it was all going to be holiday themed because it was Krampus and Santa, Father Christmas, and Headless Horseman, so the Easter Bunny. But also probably all sorts of things. Could be. Who knows? But this character is from The Masque of the Red Death. It's from an Edgar Allan Poe short story, and actually a very, very short story. Let me read from the back of the box here. Death comes for everyone. Rules and power and noble birth mean little to the cold embrace of the grave. In death, all are equal, and none can escape its touch. First published in 1842, obviously well over 100 years, Edgar Allan Poe's The Masque of the Red Death relates the tale of a horrible plague that has brought bloody death to the land. Ignoring the plight of the less fortunate souls suffering around them, Prince Prospero and 1,000 fellow nobles retreat to the Prince's Abbey in order to wait out the plague amidst the luxury of their lofty stations around them. And I won't continue to read that. The last line, in darkness and decay, and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. So I don't think it takes too much insight to think of why this was a character that they chose, that the Horsemen chose, because, we are 3 years removed now from a version of a plague that was impacting our world. All of us were impacted at it, and whichever way that it occurred, it impacted you probably in some way. And so I imagine there was a lot of inspiration from the times that we were living in to maybe make something reflective of those times. And The Masque of the Red Death is a good fit. But why am I making this video? Because I would highly recommend you check out Bill, Dork Layers. He got the early review, like as this was launched, and he did a great job reviewing it. No need for anyone else to review it other than what Bill's already done, but certainly other people will. I'm sure Toy Bro will review it. I imagine D Amazing will review it, and many other great folks that review Legion's content. But I really want to enjoy the Figura Obscura because they're infrequent, right? 1 or 2 a year. So I want to spend time with them, and I thought making a video is a good way to do it. I loved the Monkey King. That was such a fun figure. I think it's the best figure they've ever made, which was the most recent Figura Obscura from Journey to the West. And but I went too fast, and I put it on the shelf, and I haven't messed with it since. So I wanted to actually spend some time with this one and enjoy it and share it in a video, because I think there is not enough for Horsemen inspired videos out there on the internet. Certainly those I mentioned. I know Kent Poole does a Friday Fun Day video every week, and there's many others that do it, but I thought I'd add my flavor in the mix. Now, so what we're going to do here is we're going to open it. We're going to look at what it comes with, and then I'm going to try to take some pictures. And maybe I'll document a little bit of what I'm trying to do there, and try to take some cool pictures. So that's what I'm going to try to do rather than review it. It's just going to be an overview. I'll show you what it comes with, and then I'm going to try to take some pictures. So this is probably sold out by the time you're watching this. They still had some as of yesterday, a limited amount on Store Horsemen. You can go there and find it. And I don't think there's a lot of these, but they probably will have at least a handful at Legion's Con, maybe not a ton. I'd be early in line if you're interested in this. They've had most of the other Figura Obscura products at conventions recently, if you can find a Horseman table, but they have made it known that there won't be as many of these available at stores. Now, also, you can find these usually in not too high in the aftermarket. And if you're in the Mythic Legion's Cabal, highly recommend that. You'll find somebody that'll help you out, I'm sure, at a maybe a little bit of a markup, but not terrible. But then also, I imagine there will be a retailer release of this. That is not confirmed, but there's been a retailer release of every other one until we got to Monkey King. And so I'm sure both of these will have some sort of alternate color, something involved with it. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I ordered the all-in. The all-in comes with the figure, and this figure is the same. All of this is the same whether you order just the standalone figure or the all-in. These items just come extra packed. They're not in the box. I think every order comes with a mini comic or a mini book or a mini whatever this is. The Masque of the Red Death, presented by Edgar Allan Poe and the Four Horsemen. The Masque of the Red Death, original text by Edgar Allan Poe, Red Death character design by Eric Treadaway, artwork by Nate Barsh, page layouts by Jeremy Gerard, Figura Obscura created by the Four Horsemen Studios, Eric, Jim, and Cornboy. And you see it's the story, the short story, with pictures. So, kind of a picture book that shows, I think, using the toy itself as the illustrations. And others, I guess Nate did some of these paintings and such. So that's cool. I think that's a cool thing to add on with it. And I think these came with every one. We'll read the final paragraph. And now was acknowledged the presence of the Red Death. He had come like a thief in the night, and one by one dropped the revelers in the blood-bedewed halls of their revel, and died each in the despairing posture of his fall. And the life of the ebony clock went out with that of the last of the gay, and the flames of the tripods expired, and darkness and decay and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. Pretty cool. Then the other things the all-in comes with is this mug. This is like almost like a Moscow Mule mug. It's like 10, or probably not 10, but it's metal. It's got cool art on it. Bloody handle. It's got a design on the bottom. So when you get the Figura Obscura, they always have various, like a pen and a drink cup. There was like I don't even know what you call it with the Monkey King, like a tall, almost like a pint glass type thing. So mug, that's cool. I think Father Christmas had actual Christmas mugs. And then we've got the Red Death, the Masque pen right there, which is cool. It's just like the Masque. Very cool. So that's what the all-in comes with, and then we'll get to this. Now these Figura Obscura boxes are really nice. The packaging is tremendous. It's certainly a level up. Now these are a level up. I think the figure itself is 60. Comes with more than a standard figure would, and has this really, really tremendous presentation that I just think every aspect is done so nicely. I do keep these boxes, all of them, because they're beautiful. So you see the really, really nice artwork from Nate there. Look at the clock on the side and the information. And so what happens is these are like magnetic slip covers, and you get like the big artwork that you can use as a display backdrop or whatever the case may be, and that's just beautiful. Which I'm imagining this is Prince Prospero, and they're all reveling as the Red Death comes. Got this gentleman in a boar mask having some meats. But I believe that's Nate that would have painted that, during that. It's beautiful. As the Red Death is coming for them. Then we look at the outside box. More artwork on the sides. And then a nice, almost like the Plague Doctor mask on a horse coming. And there's often teasers in this artwork that of other characters that could be coming. You never know. And then there you go. The item itself. The Masque of the Red Death. Let me get some scissors or a blade to cut that open. Now, I will tell you, a big spoiler is what is behind the mask. I have not been spoiled. The Mythic Legions community is very good about not spoiling that. I will show you what is behind the mask in this video, but I will go over and above with the spoiler warning so that if you want to find out for yourself, you won't accidentally see it. I won't take a picture of that that I at least publish. I won't take a picture of that I publish on this video, but I will show you in the event that you are interested, because some people are interested, and it'll be far enough away. It'll be a couple weeks away from the release that maybe it's already been spoiled otherwise. But they have not revealed, when you take the mask off, what the head looks like. So that will be a major spoiler. And when we get there, I'll show you. Let me get some scissors. One moment. All right, now at this point, it's like a cosmic figure in a box versus like the hangers that Mythics are in. You get another pretty cool backdrop back there. I think that may be part of the box. No, that slides out. So if you can see the backdrop in there, you could slide that out as well. So lots of different options if you want to have a little bit of artwork for display. So this comes with in 2 trays. On the bottom, you've got the base of the clock down there. You've got the Raven, being an Edgar Allan Poe, and being that I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, I like that. You got 2 extra hands, you got a blade, and then you've got the blood pool. That is the stand. So you could use it. It has 4 pegs. You could use it as a figure stand, but I think it's intended for the legs of the clock to sit on it, where like the blood is coming out from the bottom of the clock. So let's get these pieces out here. So this is the Raven piece. I think it's nice. I am going to take the camera down and give you an overview of all these pieces from above as well. There are the feet. You got his blade. It just flew away. There it is. Hopefully the camera saw that thing fly through there. They popped out with some force. Blade. You got the blood, which is a very unusual thing. The Horsemen usually don't do too much or do really anything with blood, but I guess in this, it's a very specific need, and it makes sense. Then you get to the main character. You got 2 more sets of hands. You've got the clock, and you've got the figure itself. Now, I am not going to remove the soft goods on the figure. That is not a thing I'm going to do. There are pictures. Wow. The faceplate comes off of this clock. This clock is very nice. See that? Like is a piece magnetic? I'm not even sure. It feels like it's almost magnetic. The front piece of the clock. I wonder if you can change what time it is. It doesn't seem like any of this moves on the inside of the clock, but you can get a nice close look at that. And then this piece goes on front. Really, 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 I imagine there's going to be quite a few people that buy this specifically for the clock. With your action figure photography, ACBA, whatever it is, whatever world of action figure photography you do, this clock will be a very cool piece. Very cool piece. Again, I'll give you the overview from above. But the soft goods do come off, and the body underneath is a new body. I think this is almost entirely new parts. It's what the undead zombie, I think, is going to be, or similar to the undead zombie that's coming in the Necronominous wave. That might be right. So it's a new body type, kind of a 2.0-y body, I think, but I'm not sure. But Bill definitely would have, Dorkelayer would have taken off the soft goods. And if you're in the Cabal, you've seen people take off the soft goods. These soft goods look really nice. They're once again from C. Jessam, who are just doing tremendous work, I believe, with the Horsemen. And they've moved to a new level, the soft goods. So, and I've already seen people in the Cabal selling the clock and the soft goods because they just want the zombie body, which is interesting. But I guess you can make most of your money back if you sell that for like 20 bucks each or something like that. You can get the body for almost nothing. Man, he's cool. He is cool. So there he is, the Masque of the Red Death. And let me flip the camera around and we'll show you everything we're looking at a little more close. Give you a better look at that artwork there on the magnetic fold out. That's tremendous. You can definitely use that for pictures. Show you a little close up of that's the pin. Looks really nice. Here's the mug. The mask on the bottom, Figura Obscura. Bloody handle. Masque of the Red Death. And you got the book. And you see it's actually a whole story that you can read through. So that's very cool. Now the accessories, the hands are probably a couple different hinges. Gripping hand, more of a I don't know, an action hand. He has wide open hands on him. So I imagine these are two different hinges. Let's see what kind of hinge that is. Vertical and horizontal. Yeah, so it's the two different hinges of the grip hands, and then this is more of a, I don't know, just style hand. There you see the blood base. Certainly can use that in things. You see there's the feet have the peg holes to sit on the base. Sorry, I'm not showing you that real well. Here is the Raven, which I think is gorgeous. It sits on top of the clock. And this clock itself, truly tremendous. I mean, what a piece of artwork. Not a lot of it on the back, but who's displaying this on the back? And there, I see it, how easy it is to just kind of pull that off. It's got a couple pegs, pretty simple. So you can see the detail inside. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at that. Look how nice that is. And then we'll get to the figure itself. The mask of the Red Death. Look at the soft goods. There's some wire, bendy wire. Get a close up there of the mask itself. It's awesome. So cool. And you can tell it's kind of a smaller, more flexible body. A little more articulation, I believe. And I think that we're going to see more of those bodies yet to come. Now, in the very next clip, I am going to show you what that is without the mask. I'm going to show you. So, spoiler, if you do not want to see what is behind the mask, skip forward 30 seconds. Skip forward 30 seconds from right now. Last chance. In 3, 2, 1. The mask is off. The mask is super cool. And then there you see kind of behind is just kind of a void, an empty face with the jaw still intact. And I don't even know what you'd call that. But there it is. For those of you who want to see behind it, there it is. So that's it. The Mask of the Red Death. Hopefully those of you who did not want to be spoiled skipped ahead. I did show what was behind it. If you want to rewind 30 seconds and watch that, you can. I'm going to try to put this together here. There's the clock face on. I wonder if there is a front or a back. Yes, there's two different size pegs. So it goes this way. Let's get this thing all attached. And then the Raven. They all have different size pegs. That's good. Kind of idiot proof. I need that. But also you can use this Raven a different way. Like I think the clock, yeah, you wouldn't even see that those peg holes are there unless you're shooting it from above, I guess. Let's get him in there if I can get that Raven on and then get on it. There we go. There we go. So that's the fully assembled clock with the Raven and the stand, and then these feet pegging, yeah, just like that. So then you see, yeah, you can see it there, where it's like the blood is oozing out of the bottom of the clock, which is a big part of the story. And you should read the story. You should read the story. I read you a little bit, but you should read it. It's short. It will not take you long. And I appreciate that when the Horsemen do this, they also are encouraging, reading, education, research. That's really cool. I'm really happy with this. I know for some people it wasn't what they expected because it's very obscure. Well, it's FIgura Obscura. But I just love that you're getting interesting things, interesting takes. I love the story behind it. I love that they are encouraging reading and those types of things, and growth and development, but also just having fun and doing what they want to do. They spend a lot of time doing things that are really audience friendly and all-star votes and things like that. And these are just things they want to do, and they turn out great. They get to experiment. We get bodies and figure types early than we would with regular waves. So I think they're great. So while I'm talking, kind of wrapping up, hopefully I've been showing some pictures. I'm going to try to take at least 3 or 4 cool pictures. I really, I'm watching a lot of Trevor, 1/6 shooter, and I've always watched a lot of The Amazing, and I want to get better at taking cool pictures. And when I get a figure like this, that you can take pictures of it by itself. You don't have to have a lot of supporting things. I just want to do a better job of enjoying that figure for a longer period of time. So did the little overview, and hopefully you like it, enjoyed it. It's a cool figure. But more importantly, if maybe this one isn't to you, but hey, you're like, hell man, if they make a Bigfoot, I'm all in on that. Or if they make a Don Quixote, that would be my thing. Or Easter Bunny, or whatever the case may be. Tooth Fairy, I'm in on that. Pay attention to the Figura Obscura drops. There was one in the spring this year. There's this one. There's been one generally around the holiday, Halloween, Christmas time frame. I think there probably will be another one come Christmas, but I have no insight into that. But they're cool things, cool to play with, cool to display. Can have it up for your Halloween decorations. A lot of people do that with the Headless Horseman or whatever. And I think it's just it's great. It's fun. The community gets excited. The way it works is they will post like a teaser image, and tomorrow it's going to go up for pre-order, and everybody guesses what they think the teaser image is revealing. That's fun. It gets the community going and excited. And then the next day, you get the reveal, then you see what everybody thinks about the reveal. And then usually they're in your hand. I mean, this was in my hand less than 1 week after I ordered it, which is very rare these days in toys. There are very few things where you see it, you order it, and you have it in a week. Sometimes you see things for 2 months, 2 years even, before they come out. And so it's very rare. And I enjoy it. I like getting the little extras, the mug, the pen, that kind of stuff. I just think it's fun. So thanks for watching this just quick overview of the Figura Obscura, the Masque of the Red Death. Hopefully I took some fun pictures and you enjoyed it. Maybe you picked yourself up one. And I will talk to you in the next video, which should be a Life with the Dubs coming up on Sunday. Till then, squeeze it.